Folks, hello and welcome to Dungeons, Dragons, and Discourse. I am half your host. Half your host?
I'm the other half. I'm his
I am
better half.
my better. All right. I am Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR. With me, as always, on the first and third Friday of the month. Trying to remember how that works. It's none
I
other
know
than
it's a
Glenn Hellstrom. Old man
I
Glenn.
know it's a curse. It's a curse. And this
It's
evening I'm drinking my last RC.
RC Cola. Holy crap.
They
You
still
know,
make it.
see, my cola was CNC back when I was a kid because that was the cheap New York cola.
Well, yeah, that was my gaming cola.
Oh, okay.
We had CNC back in the Bay Area for a while. All those weird remember when like Jolt came out, all these other weird independent colas came out?
Uh,
I think that was around the time they did the new Coke thing. And all of a sudden there's Jolt, there's Surge, there's CNC Cola, and I tried them all. Some of them were pretty good. CNC was pretty good. I know that.
yeah. See, you know what? They all fell within that range. I remember Jolt Cola. I used to have that in
Yeah, me
college.
too. That was my other gaming cola.
That was my. That was
Because
my.
that
Uh,
always thought it was the game. Hey, how you doing? I always
Hi there
thought
tonight, though. Um,
that Jolt. What was it? Jolt Cola was the gamers cola for gamers who didn't like Mountain Dew.
I could be. I had more caffeine than Mountain Dew, and Mountain Dew had caffeine. I think I also had more sugar. So I used to, depending on whether I needed
That,
to lubricate or I needed to be really, really like focused and stay up all night. It was either
I said
Jolt
lubricant.
or a 6 pack of Corona. If I needed to get a paper banged out and I needed to be loose and I had a little
Mhm.
time, Coronas. If I had no time, Jolt Cola. Because Jolt Cola kept you awake until 4 a.m. in the morning so you could.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I was right. I was right, Mr. Woodard. All the sugar and twice the caffeine. I remember that was their motto. Yes.
There you go.
Um, and that was, like I said, that was around the time they did New Coke because this was all a reaction to that.
No,
They were talking about reducing the caffeine, and they had caffeine free this and that, and New Coke, nobody liked it, and all that kind of crap.
it's oh god.
I wish they still made it.
See
I
my
mean,
the one
you could buy it online, but it's like a king's ransom.
yeah
You
my
have to buy a
my
case at a time.
what I miss from the soda wars of those years
Uh huh.
was slice slice soda with orange and their lemon lime because it was like wow it's like Sunkist with actual juice. Yeah, I think like half a percentage of juice, but it was
Yeah.
theoretically juice.
Well, I think Jolt is like um, Jolt was like the predecessor to like all these energy drinks we have now.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, even Mountain Dew's got an energy drink out now.
Oh yeah, Kickstart. I like Kickstart. I like
Yeah.
the black cherry. It's a little bit less sugars, a little bit, but it got more caffeine. You can get out there and
You
box.
know,
My box will fall apart, but
you know what I drink for an energy drink? Old Glory.
all right, Glenn. What the old
It's
glory?
an energy drink I can find at either on Q or regularly 7-Eleven. And you can find it in stores sometimes in like six packs and things like that. But I buy it because it's cheap. They started
Okay.
out, they were 99 cents a can. Now they're like $1.25 or something like that. Still the cheapest energy drink you're going to find out there.
Now, does it taste shitty like most of those energy drinks? That's the reason why I
Tastes
like.
all right. I mean, anything that tastes like squirt or grapefruit soda, I like,
Oh,
and
okay,
that's what it reminds me of. I
fair
mean,
enough.
if I have to, I will drink a Red Bull. If I need the energy and I have to, I'll grab a Red Bull and just shotgun it down and go on my way. And sometimes I need that if I'm falling asleep on behind the wheel. So yeah,
I used to do the was it the 5 hour energies? But the
yeah,
not it was like the knockoff that you get like at Costco or BJ's. But you buy it in bulk. And when I was working, the days that you were doing a longer day or you were doing overtime, it got you through it. But yeah, I
yeah.
my energy. Doc says my energy drink is tea, very strong, no sugar, 48-ounce doses. Black tea with stevia and a dash of milk. So I'm sorry
See,
to.
folks, this is related. This is the energy secrets of gamers,
Oh, that was disgusting. I'm not even going to read that one out
made by
loud.
Gwyneth. Well, excuse me, Gwyneth
Yeah.
Paltrow. No, she does squirt.
Ah, why else
Ba-dum-bum.
the
Are you
images,
drink?
the images.
By the
I
way,
can't
you
take the images.
by the way, you drinking anything tonight?
I am drinking um grape crush
Oh,
and
that sounds
seltzer
good.
water. So it's actually like having a grape soda. But
I was going to
no,
say, why, if you have Grape Crush, why are you putting
little
seltzer in it?
squirty bottle.
Oh, it's not a real
But
carbonated
it
drink.
tastes just
Okay.
like it. But it does it's
Well,
but it's
that
a grape crush.
hence the seltzer water. Okay,
Yes,
got it. I'm gonna have
yes.
to try that. That'd be neat. My favorite and my favorite was Grapette.
Grape bet.
Grapette. They used to be an independent grape soda until
Oh,
I think Walmart bought them. Grapette and Orangette.
Nick
And
Chat.
Fanta anything is always good. I mean, if you could ignore the fact that it was created by the Nazis, it's a good soda.
We have ways of making soda taste good.
Well,
Yeah.
it was yeah. They created it around World War II to get to get the Nazis. They lost
They lost the Coca-Cola recipe because it was taken away by the Americans.
they lost
But
they
Coca-Cola
would
Germany.
they wouldn't sell in Germany. So it's like, all right, let's come up with our own drink for our own Aryan peoples.
Fanta, Fanta, Fanta. I will say
Fanta,
this.
and then the Coca-Cola company ended up just bottling it.
Well,
They now own it. So
yeah. If you go to like Wendy's out by me has
uh-huh.
all those Coca-Cola machines that like the
Oh,
I can
yeah, I'd love
yeah.
those.
They got the Fanta there, and you can go. I'm gonna have
Yeah,
the
me
Fanta,
too.
and you mix your own weird concoctions like my niece does.
Oh yeah, I mean,
So
my grandkids. Oh yeah, there was a time it was like, I'm going to put 5 different sodas in one cup. Okay, go for it. You can drink it.
indeed. And by the way,
I like.
Elle was on a roll tonight. Some of these things are political, so I'm not going to read them out loud.
I'd
But I
rather
will,
have a hot dog on a roll.
I will say that Elle is on a roll. And that's the original ingredients for Coca-Cola, Coke, cocaine.
Got it.
It does a body good.
Yeah,
So,
if I understand, they have now trace amounts of cocaine in there because that's the only way they can keep their is it copyright?
really? Is that an
Yeah.
urban legend?
No. Well, that's what I thought. That's what the federal court said. They say you can't
Ooh,
call it Coca-Cola unless you have
Coke in it?
something related to
Well,
cocaine in
yeah,
it.
but the coca bean, right? You could do it from like,
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess you could do that, but that's the story I heard. Is in order to to keep your copyright, something's got to give. And, so I understand trace amounts of cocaine per like million, or I guess their lawyers could have argued, well, it's cocoa beans, which is, by the way, isn't that where cocaine comes from? I mean, you
All
get
right.
chocolate, Coca-Cola, and cocaine.
Okay, so this is what I got on the Wikipedia. Since 1929, Coca-Cola has used a cocaine-free coca leaf extract. Today, the extract is prepared in a Stepan Company plant in Maywood, New Jersey, the only manufacturing plant authorized by the federal government to import and process coca leaves, which it obtains from Peru and Bolivia.
Okay.
But that doesn't. So they're using the coca leaves. I wonder if
Yeah.
the waste material is.
So they're covered. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Welcome, Jr. Yes.
What was that? Oh, to hell with you, L. We're pitching what we're pitching. You can just swat at it or let it go by. Strike three, you're out.
Listen, I'm Dave LaRoche from the Yankees in the '80s with La Lob, and just
You patent them. That's patent them. Yeah, patent.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to think of. JR's right.
There you go. Yeah.
Cocaine. Gok says cocaine comes from coca, not coca.
cocoa.
I thought it was the same. I thought it was the same. Oh well, I didn't know what coca here. Anyway.
You're not a cocaine. Anyway. I'm just a checking, eh? Hey, paisano, if I was Italian, I could call you a coca head.
So you been gaming?
We actually did. We gamed on Tuesday night. Joe the Lawyer's AD&D 2E by the book. And now, Glenn, have you seen this effect now? Look at this. I put my fingers and strange shit happens on my screen that I don't understand. I don't know if it has to do with the VR.
Don't look at me.
Or YouTube. I don't know.
Don't look at me.
Joe uses AD&D 2E, and it's by the book, meaning that he has 24 pages of house rules. But
yeah,
but it's by the book. But it's a lot of fun, and it begat a video this week because Joe had a prior event that we thought we got away with come back and kick us in the ass, because when you're playing in a campaign, and not everybody plays, in campaigns that have continuity, but if you're playing in a campaign that has continuity, in other words, more like Babylon 5 than Star Trek, right? And your prior actions can come back and kick you in the ass. And our prior actions came back, and then they actually had me paralyzed in the first round of combat. So I will admit, true confession, folks, if you take me out of combat and I've got nothing to do, it used to be when I was playing at the table, I would just start flipping through my book and like reading stuff, like whatever spell list, or read up my character or class. But now I start researching shit on the interwebs, because there's nothing for me to do once I'm taken out of combat. So that's a true confession, Joe. If you're hearing that, and that's the reason why you had to go like, Eric, huh? What, me? I don't know. I'm still doing this. I'm paralyzed. So true confession. Now, Glenn, have you been gaming?
Yeah, actually, not this Thursday, but last Thursday, I had Matt's Castles and Crusades game, which went all right. Don't remember a damn thing of what I did in there, but it went all right. We're going through some dungeon or other, I guess. The Monday game we are going to play this Monday. The Monday game's gone on to every other Monday now because our GM he's busy with Halloween and stuff, and he's doing stuff like haunted houses and stuff.
Haunted houses?
So
Wait.
and
he does more than his own house. He does other people's houses.
He's kind of, his hobby is, first of all, he's a magician, and secondly, he's he likes to study the occult and such. And so he goes to this one, the Noble Scare Grounds, they call it, and every year he runs a seance. And the last 2 or 3 years, Gage and I have always gone to the seance.
Okay.
Just to support him, and he does a pretty good job. It's a show to him. And this time Gage took his girlfriend, and they had a good time. They have what they call the Haunted Trail because it takes place out in Noble is like one of those dinky little cities in Oklahoma, little towns, and they have their Noble Fairgrounds, which we call the Scare Grounds, every year. And they have like the Haunted Trail, which is through, I think, some cornfield or something like that with jump scares and all that kind of stuff. And I didn't go in it, but they did. And I said, "How'd you do it?" So she got scared. I said, "Well, I figured she would." He says, "What happened with you?" He says, "I could see him coming a mile away. I just wave at him. So they go for her." So it's like, "Well, that was you're a nice boyfriend, aren't you?" So, but we had a good time. Anyway, the Monday game, this Monday, hopefully we will wrap up this battle. I mean, this battle is going on 3 sessions, the 3rd session.
Whoa. What game is this? Astonishing Sorcerer?
This is 5e Eberron.
Well, see, you already explained to me why it's lasting multiple sessions for one battle. It's fine.
Yeah, and well, not only that, but somehow we got transported to the city of Brass and sort of dragooned into this. Okay, see, one of our members got teleported to the city of Brass. We didn't know where he is, so we found out that it's one of those things where they want me to do this. Can you help me? What are we supposed to do? Kidnap a Rakshasa. I said, really? Kidnap a Rakshasa? Why don't we just go up against a Tarask? I mean, God almighty. So that's what we were trying to do. My character's at 0 hit points right now. And 2 others have been taken out. So I am not running 5e Eberron. I'm a player in 5e Eberron. Thank you. But I'm just sort of lying there playing dead because it's hard to completely kill my character because he's got a magic item on him that if I go down, it automatically stabilizes me. Although one time that didn't work, so he's a little more cautious now. Let me put it, he had to be raised. He's a little more cautious now. Let me put it that way. He realized, yes, if they do it right, I can die. And they did it right. So I said, I want to come back. I want my character to come back as a force ghost and just take the force magic item and said, piece of crap. But they raised me. Yeah, I lost the point. See, here's the thing. 5e, he's doing the old rule of when you get raised, the AD&D rule where you get raised, you lose a point of constitution.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
And it's like, well, that's all well and good, but why do you bother in 5e? Because if I make it to the next level, I get stat bumps. I'll just bump it back up. Why do you bother with that rule? I can understand that if I was playing 1e or even 2e.
We got to make it a little bit more dangerous for you.
Well, I had to make like 3 rolls, and he said, next time they get harder. I said, yes, I will be bumping that stat up. Thank you. So yeah, that's pretty much what's going on. We're just trying to get through that. And he says he's going to wrap up the campaign shortly after that, so we could do something else. So I think he's going to be running some Hyperborea for us. So
Okay.
I'm looking forward to that.
John Miller with 1E. It's number of combats per session. With 5E, it's number of sessions per combat.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And then
I don't know. This is the
L,
longest one. This is the longest one we've ever done. We've done one over 2 sessions, but I never had to go to 3.
wow.
It's
L is like
weird.
Pathfinder is campaign per combat. That's
Well,
rough. Oh.
I can understand Eberron because Eberron's supposed to be like pulp D&D. So,
Right.
it's like D&D meets Indiana Jones type of thing. So, yeah, there's a lot more action. But, 3 sessions is a bit much, I think.
Well, see that's the whole thing too. Like I enjoy combat in my RPGs. If it bogs down too much, then you don't want to get into combat. And I mean, yes, role playing versus role playing is certainly two different things, and they certainly work well together.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it gets out of. I think the balance screws up more when you take the dice out of the session. I mean,
Equation.
I've run D&D sessions where no dice rolling happened.
I've seen those. I've been in a Champions game where no dice rolling happened, and that's rare.
Yeah. But you got to be really moving some huge plot points around. And let's be honest, okay? What are your players playing for? Yeah, playing for enjoyment. But they want the carrot. And the carrot is character improvement, usually the experience points, and magic items or other sort of loot. And if you're doing a session that is pure diceless, and I'm not talking diceless like Amber, which is a diceless RP. I'm talking about if you're running a session that has no combat, no confrontations that can be resolved by any kind of randomness, your players will often feel cheated. So, what we generally do is we always make sure there's a minimum platform of experience points. Like everybody who showed up, you're going to get 100 XP per level, or whatever the number is going to be, because you were there, you were playing. You need something tangible. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. And I don't, some groups listen like Easy D6. There's no experience points, and your character you start with is going to be the character you die with, which is fine in the convention sense. But as written, I can't see running an easy D6 campaign.
I like easy D6, but if I'm going to play that, I'd rather play a Nick's card RPG.
Yeah.
Love gaming with the V. Well, I'm getting sick of gaming with the VTT. Let me tell you, I'm starting to think that I'm not a GM anymore because I haven't ran anything since June at the convention, I think.
Yeah.
So, that's crazy. Another reason my character is so cautious. Let's see. We have now in the party, we have 2 Warforged, 2 Shapeshifters, and me.
And what are
Guess who the regular human is?
So are you like
I'm the boss. The funny thing is I'm the boss of my organization hired them. So I'm pretty much the boss, but the boss is back here taking range shots at stuff. Because I may have like 98 hit points, but these other guys like Gage is he's one of the Warforged. He's basically Iron Man. And if I'm fighting next to him, I'll stand behind him. I will. If I have to get into melee and he's there, I'll stand behind him. I mean, the one time I had to get raised, you know why? I decided to hell with this, and I went into a battle. I Rambo'd right in. I stood right there and took my shotgun and went bam, or my blunderbuss rather. And next thing I know, I went down so fast and made my head spin.
John, there's a little conversation going on about VTTs in the chat, and VTTs have
I
strengths
know.
and they have weaknesses. Now, the strength of a VTT is I can play from the same desk I'm sitting at now, with friends in Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Georgia.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm leaving some state out, but this is my regular gaming group. Now, if I were to game in person, when I used to game in person, I used to drive out to Suffolk County on Long Island every other Thursday night at for a 7 o'clock game, which meant leaving my house around 5:15 for a nearly 2 hour drive, depending on traffic, to play for 3.5 hours to have a 45-minute drive home. Whereas here, I am here. If there's an emergency in the house, if I was a parent of young kids, I'm not leaving my spouse with a bag of shit for way too long. VTTs are great for that. And with the right group, they can replicate about 90% of in-person gaming, with the exception of the some of the practical jokes that used to always happen at in-person gaming.
Well, what are the downsides now?
Well, the downside is part of what I talked about before. If I'm not engaged, I will find myself. I got two screens of distraction in front of me. I will distract myself. Human nature. That's horrible. Um,
Yeah.
but it happens at your regular gaming table too. It's just that you're more likely to catch somebody whose attention is uh,
Mm-hmm.
distracted watching the football game on their phone or
Well,
whatever.
Mr. Woodard there makes a good point. I feel the same way. I spend a lot of time at this desk doing stuff, and I want to. That's why I like Matt's game so much, because I'm actually at a table with people playing, because I need the contact. I mean, yes, it's a hassle, but this is a hassle that we've been putting up with for how many decades?
Oh yeah,
But I mean, VTT is a great way, an alternative, but it's not the be all and end all. And as Mr. Woodard said, when I do this, like I'm going to be playing in Jason's Saturday game, and I told him up front, I said, look, as far as like online gaming goes, I'm good for about 2 hours. That's it. If I'm at a table, I can play for 6, 8 hours, no problem. But in front of a computer, 2 hours. That's about it. Also, I don't want to deal with the learning curve if I want a GM to learn the VTT, even All Bear Rodeo. I may, someday. I almost was going to do that for my current group, but then I came to the realization, we used to be a face-to-face group, and when COVID hit, this happened, and now we're still doing this. If I learn All Bear Rodeo and start running stuff, we're never going to get back to the table, ever. And I don't like that. I mean, I'm one of those, to me, online is good. And I have a lot of friends online, like you and
right.
Mike and other people. And I do consider you guys my good friends, whether or not we meet up once a year. I consider my good friends, but there are a lot of people say, oh, online friends aren't real. They're just people you talk to. And so, well, they could be real, I mean, we've been together as friends for what, at least 5+ years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but at the same time, I want the human contact. I mean, online is online, and yes, you talk to real people, but I still have to, it's It's like if my marriage was only online and my wife wouldn't live somewhere else, that'd be a problem
It would be,
after a
but now,
while.
but things we have to realize too is like when I first started doing online gaming,
Uh-huh.
um, nobody was using. I mean, TeamSpeak was one of the first things that people started using,
Hmm.
or Skype, but we were using Fantasy Grounds, and everything was text, and it was
Yeah,
fun.
I remember those days.
Yes, and then we moved and we got a group together to start beta testing 5e. Wow, that really puts a notch in that one.
Makes you old,
And
makes you feel old, doesn't it?
yeah, and we used a very early version of Roll20
Hmm.
with Google Hangouts. Now, Roll20 had built-in voice and built-in video. Why didn't
Hmm.
we use the built-in voice and video from Roll20? Because it
Because
fucking
it
sucked.
sucked.
It okay. That's saying it sucks moose cock. It was beyond moose. It was mooses.
Well,
Many moose.
moose is it's moose and squirrel.
Yeah.
Uh,
It was Rocky and Bullwinkle cock, okay? I mean, it was so bad. We could you could get like some people's voices working, but then somebody in Canada, like you got their video, but you couldn't get their voice. But somebody in Georgia, you got
what
oh,
kind of killed that a bit was when Google Hangout, when they decided not to, Google Hangouts and Roll20 used to work together, and
then
then
they
they
yep,
weren't.
then they separated them, and then they're pretty much you
Killed it.
know yeah. So now what do we do? Now out of maybe it's out of habit, but we run when we play in Joe's game, we're using Roll20, and
Hmm.
I'm a lifetime pro member of Roll20. I backed the Kickstarter, and I backed another Kickstarter that got merged into it. Um, but the I use my Discord is on my secondary screen almost 24/7, or whenever I'm at my
Right.
computer. So that's what we use for voice and video is Discord, because Discord, high quality video, high quality voice
Hmm.
doesn't fuck up. And we're
Well,
kind of a little gun shy of using Roll20 for that aspect.
we use it like that. The Monday game, we use Roll20. We use the voice, but no video. So that cuts down the problems right there.
All right, the
You
bandwidth.
know, yeah, the bandwidth, you're not straining their servers. But there have been times when that just wasn't working right, and we just switch over to Discord. No harm, no foul. So
I
that wasn't
find it
really a problem with us.
I find it funny that Joe the lawyer, who when he does videos, either on his channel or the
Hmm.
Friday nights that Glenn and I are on, Joe won't show his face, right? Joe's always got his avatar.
Right.
When we game, Joe insists on seeing everybody's face for the most part.
Except his.
No, you'll see his.
Oh, okay.
He just doesn't want to be recorded, and have his face up there for all
Well,
eternity.
he's still working, isn't he?
Yep.
Okay, that's probably why right there. It's his,
Yeah.
professional life it gets in the way. But
And I can understand that. When
yeah.
you're a civil servant,
I
when you
mean,
work in government,
why else would you be called Tenkar?
yeah, no, literally, it was. I guess I'll give
The
the
secret away.
yeah the secret is that Tenkar was the name of a dwarven henchman that my party recruited in D&D 2e, and he wound up being the player that recruited him dropped out of the game for a while, but the players enjoyed having Tenkar the fighter around because he was competent and loyal and a little smartass. But so he became like the party henchman. Like they hired him to stay on even if his normal lord wasn't. So
Right.
when I started playing EverQuest, I was like, all right, well, I need a character name. Oh, I'm going to use Tenkar. And then social media started becoming a thing. And I was like, ooh, I can't be Eric Stina on social media because I work for the New York City Police Department, the New York City government, and I say one stupid thing and it gets caught online, I could be in a lot of trouble. And
Now
it
you're
doesn't
retired. You can do that.
now I can say whatever the bloody fuck I want, but before I retired, a little anonymity was useful. Yes, I named myself after a Lachiel. Yes, but a very competent lackey, a very important lackey. Listen, I am a lackey of the OSR, right? I mean,
True.
I serve at at the blessing of my community. All right, if my community said, "Hey, you're a fucking asshole. We don't like you," guess what? I got no following. I have no influence. I have no voice of authority. Then I am nothing. So the community, including people like you, El, dare I say that, um, are literally what lifts me up and puts me where I am. And community can be fickle, so I prefer to be honest and open, and I don't keep secrets, right? Because when you're a secret keeper and you're one of those like bastards who can't keep your life straight, well, then you tend to fuck up because you may inadvertently claim that one of your lies is the truth when it isn't, and then maybe it comes and bites you in the ass. I don't know. I'm talking hypothetically right now.
By the way, if he's watching or maybe later, DM Dave, how you doing? I know he's at Gamehole Con.
Oh yeah. By the way,
Uh,
when I was talking about the game,
you,
the con in the room, the elephant in the room, game con.
uh-huh. Yeah, I
Uh,
want to say hi because he just opened his game store around here, and it's like,
oh, nice.
hey, DM was it DM Dave's games and books and game. I think it was games and books. Mostly, it's a game store. It's not really like Barnes and Noble or anything. Yeah, he just opened it like August, September, somewhere around there. And yeah, he's a cool guy. He writes 5e. He's a by the way, he's a dyed in the wool OSR uh,
Oh, you gotta get to North
gamer.
Texas.
But but he but yeah, I've been pushing it. But he writes 5e materials because he said that's what pays the bills.
And I can't. I don't blame him.
He says I write the 5e stuff and it sells so good I can really operate this game store at almost, I never said at a loss, but I mean that's like
he's not at a huge profit. Yeah.
not at a huge profit. So
Um,
he's good that way. And
unscripted
I say,
and
yeah, more power to you, guy. You know,
yeah. Bloomberg had three people getting paid 250K to search for teachers online so they could be fired for wrong think speak. You know, I listen. I spent my last years in internal affairs. I could see the writing on the wall, and I understood where it was going. And yeah, I was not using my real name on social media while I was employed. It was insane. And I know active cops that are still working that I know on social media, and they all have variations of if you know who you're looking for, you could you know who's talking, but otherwise you might not. So
unscripted,
you know,
unscripted,
but
unchained. Is that DM Bloodworth?
yes, it is.
Oh, what is that guy doing here?
What are they doing
Every
here?
every everybody says he. Yeah, I think I can't remember. There was one guy I friended, and then another friend of mine objected because this guy was associated with blah 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 blah, and I unfriended him. I unfriended the guy he talked about, and
Right.
ever since then, it's like, why did I do that? You know, I expect the people I associate with online. I expect to get along. And if they don't, it's not my problem.
Yeah, that's
You know,
that's like a
I mean,
child,
no, I
right?
mean, nobody's giving me, even though I know you get it, nobody's giving me flack for being your friend. But if they
No,
did, I could, I could give a crap. You know, I associate with who I associate, and if you don't like it, well, then don't associate with me.
yeah. I
You know.
mean, listen, I get crap from the left and the right. So just so folks know, the next 2 Wednesdays, next Wednesday we're talking about Game Hall. Well, we're gonna have Alex Kammer on next Wednesday with Bad Mike and
Mm-hmm.
myself to talk about the Kickstarter that he co-wrote for Frog God Games. It's like an end of the world thing. It's for 5e. Forgive me, forgive me. I'm sure you can convert it to OSR on the fly. I've done that in the past. I still wish there was an OSR version. But then the following week, okay, which is like November 1st or 2nd or whatever the hell it is, we're gonna have Alex Macris. Adventurer Conqueror King system. It's relaunching. It's got its second edition. He's going to, I believe, have an SRD for it. It's going to be interesting. So I don't care where you stand politically, okay? As long as you make good content, it's likely we're going to bring you on this channel. That's what my viewers want. That's what my community wants. Now, I do know I'm going to get flack for both Wednesdays from different little corners of the universe who think that they can tell me what to do, but God
Well, after the
knows.
look after the second Wednesday, I show up on Friday to do this show. We sit there and commiserate and have a few drinks and just make it all feel better for you. I mean, I'll use any excuse to have a few drinks. So yeah.
L I watch a lot of fucked up videos on YouTube, so if you, I would be interested in seeing that one. Um,
No,
Doc, he's going to a flea market
unscripted.
tomorrow.
Unscripted says somebody told me not to associate with me. No, I don't. I don't. Yeah,
He's using it as an
I'm
example.
seriously. I don't think it was you. It was somebody else. But I seem. I'm just thinking about people who get flack like you and Eric and that kind of thing. It just sort of came up in my head. The things happen in my head that you wouldn't believe. You know, you you
Um,
you come into my
Shona
head, you wouldn't
attacked Eric
survive.
today. All right, so L, you're gonna have to educate me, unless this is a joke, because I don't know A Shoner or B Shoner or any Shoner. so I don't. So if I don't know them, they're not important enough for me to give a fuck about their opinion. So if they attack me, if you're attacked and you don't even realize it, does it really matter? Nobody in social
True.
media, usually when the assholes start coming out of the woodwork, I get like 19 people sending me screenshots because they want me to know the assholes that are out there and what they're saying, and I don't know nothing about no Shona. So
By the way, here's a non-RPG related statement.
yes,
Tonight was Becky and I's 23rd anniversary.
holy shit! Congratulations.
Yeah, I can't believe it. 23 years. I've been married. This is my third marriage. The other two lasted less than 5. In fact, the first one I filed for annulment a week before our 5th anniversary.
Damn.
But 23, wow, incredible. She puts up with a lot of
God bless her.
stuff. Yeah, she lets me game. I guess that's all I can hope for. But
Wow.
hey, I just thought I'd say that
No.
because
Uh, I still have. Apparently, I am important. There are a few individuals out there who dislike me because of the undue influence I have. Yes, all 3,000 plus subscriptions. I'm
oh
not the
yeah,
DM. Okay, I am not going out there changing hearts and minds. I am not. But you know. He's an RPG troll. Claims all D&D players are just board gamers. You can see yourself in his videos. Oh, God bless him. I mean, if the way he needs to increase his video watching is to include this wonderful mug, this face, this wonderful face. Hold on a second. Let's do. Whee! Oh, it didn't do it this time. 2 thumbs up. Any of this stuff? Oh, it turned me dark. Oh, nice. It turns the lights out. That's pretty. All right, turn them back up. Holy crap. Get this
What
up.
is Bloodworth saying? It's funny when someone you had no knowledge of their
There's just a
existence.
statue.
What are you saying?
It's like there's something hitting my shin. Oh, wait, no. I stepped in shit. Oh, no, I stepped in Shoner. Oh my God, I stepped in Shoner. That's why it smells so bad. I'll have to wipe it off. Yeah, I'll wipe it off on his channel. Don't worry about it.
Thank
Yes,
you, El.
yeah, your marriage
Is it
as old as
okay?
3. No, I think it meant as old as 3.
Don't insult me like that. It's as old as 1E.
You can,
Don't bring up 3E. I don't like 3E. That's why I don't like
my marriage is as old as 5E. We're gonna hit 12 years. Crap. We're gonna hit 12 years November 5th, and she still puts up with me very, very well. I think I've grown on her like a fungus. But she can't get rid of me again like a fungus.
True.
But
anyway, I gave and 2 weeks Becky's 67th birthday. And I just gave her present tonight, which is 2 tickets to go see the Guess Who in December. So she's looking forward to that.
Ooh. I got a new appreciation for all my classic rock now that I have XM in my car. And all I have on is classic vinyl and what's the classic rewind. And it's like, and I hear all these songs I always loved. And it's like, hold on a second. That's Buffalo Springfield? I had never had any clue who sang that.
Well, you're better than me. Becky likes to bounce from the Message Christian to 70s on 7. But she knows when I'm in the car, it stays on the Beatles channel.
Another good channel. Well, I can deal with Margaritaville and Limited Doses.
They have an Elvis channel too.
Okay. Did they actually? I should check. Do they have a Bing Crosby channel or?
I don't know. It used to have 40s on 4, but that's something else now. They got like 70s on 60s on 6, 70s on 7, and 80s on 8. But and 90s on 9. But they used to have like 40s on 4, 50s on 5. And they got rid of the lower end ones.
Okay. Do they have?
But Becky's a child of she was a child of the 70s, so she likes 70s on 7.
I was a child of the 70s too, but my mother listened to country.
So was I. But I like the 80s stuff better.
It's like
60s and 80s.
It's like, oh no, more mamas than the papas. I can't handle it. I can't handle it. No. Don, there's a place in Connecticut called the Battle Standard, probably one of the largest game shops in the U.S. I'm making a full-size solo and carbonate for this on the side. Great guys.
Oh, I'd love to see that. I mean, bigger than Games of Berkeley, because that used to be my jam. That used to be my jam when I lived in the Bay Area, and that was a pretty big one. Let me tell you.
East Windsor, Connecticut. Okay. Well, it has 276 Google reviews and a 4.8 stars. Holy shit. I gotta say, that's pretty good. And they got some organized events out there. Magic the Gathering, Warhammer 40K. All right. I may have to make a day trip one day. We'll see.
Well, we ain't got we oh, thank you, man. Thank you, sir. 24th. Wow. Well, I know Doc. He's in it for the long haul, just like me.
Yep.
So, and just like you. influences.
I'd like to hire somebody to be a greeter here at the tavern.
You know, DM Dave's. I was trying to talk him into hiring me at DM Dave's, and I said, "Look, I'll go out and I'll buy a blue vest, and I'll just stand at the door, so going, welcome to DM Dave's."
Yeah. We got your games.
Would you like a cart?
Yeah. As you leave, remember to give me a receipt so I can punch a hole in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you got a return. It goes right over here.
Yeah. Hold on a second when I.
God, I miss GMing. I really do. I can't find a game. I can't organize one to save my life. I mean, I tried to get my Monday group out here, and it's like, where do you live? More. Oh, that's too far. Oh, yeah? Well, I go 45 minutes to Matt's house, and you guys live, I'll drive 45 minutes and you won't come out here. And it's like maybe 30. But yeah, I can't seem to get I'm starting to not feel like a gamer, or at least a GM. I do that show 3 times a week, and it's like I'm getting to the point where, do I really have anything to say to GMs anymore? Because I'm not doing it. Sometimes I feel like I just regurgitate stuff. But anyway, that's my cross to bear.
Neither here nor there or anywhere between. Yeah. I know, and it.
He gave some here.
I live in New York City. We've got 8.5 million people, probably twice that easily living within a near metropolitan area. And I can't really I find OSR gamers, which is cool, but I don't find OSR sessions going on, which is what it is. Which is why I get my gaming in online. And my gaming group I am very compatible with. And we do.
Another thing I got against online gaming is the fact that I'm enough of a hermit as it is.
Oh, well.
I got to get out of this room sometimes. See the sun shine. That kind of thing.
All right. Yeah, no, I looked up looked them up on, again, great reviews on Google Plus. I don't know what the complete gets. Probably more reviews, but probably not a 4.8 Google review. And the complete does do more with less. Complete has learned how to do a lot with the minimal amount of space that a Manhattan storefront has. So,
yeah. Oh, yeah. 50s on 5, 60s on 6, Outlaw Country. Okay. If I'm going to do the numbers, I like 80s on 8 because they got like most of the original MTV VJs doing the DJ stuff, which is kind of cool. I grew up with them. I remember MTV from my young adult days. Somewhere. When I got rid of all my VHS tapes, but I used to have 2 volumes of MTV videos that I recorded off the TV. I don't know what happened to those.
I didn't have MTV because we didn't have cable as a kid. In New York City, everything was, we didn't have cable in my neighborhood. So everything was over the air. But we had Friday night videos.
Yeah. Well, I remember. Oh, yeah, like Night Flight and things like that.
All right. So here, let me move on to Elle's question. I think it's a good question for us. With what Unscripted brought up last night and Random House kicking out D&D, do you think landscape will change in game stores as OSR and current reach balance in shelf space?
I don't know about that.
See, here's my concern. All right. And I worked retail for 8.5 years before I became a cop. Worked in a major department store. I worked in electronics. I ran Young Men, the Bargain Spot and Candy, and then I ran, on my way out, I did the Christmas department. So I got an opportunity to look at sale trends and what becomes hot and what becomes not hot. And It was a major department store in Flushing. Good location, right? Location's a lot of this stuff. Right now, for game stores, what supplants location in a lot of ways is two things. Well, really one thing and an add-on. Magic the Gathering, right? Brings people into the store and people buy that like it's crack. And 5e. Now, why 5e? Because 5e has that institutional memory. It's D&D, right? It's the official D&D. And some people will only drink only drink like Coca-Cola or Pepsi, right? You can get like, knockoff soda that tastes just no, it's got to be Coca-Cola. You can't have
Well, yeah, I understand that, but I can kind of understand their thinking. If you learn 5e and you know 5e, I mean, I'm the same way with like BX and BECME because I
Mhm.
can do those. I can run those in my sleep.
Right,
So you're always going to default to the stuff you know the best.
right.
And
But
if you're a gamer and wants to game, and if you know 5e, well, you know,
uh,
you're going to run 5e.
Doc makes a good point. Random house thing only applies to bookstores. I believe it
That's
applies
right.
to bookstores, but not just bookstores. It applies to Walmart. It applies to Target. I was going to say Kmart, but that kind of would date me because these are locations where you're going to find these stuff that's sold by Random House. Game stores get much of their distribution through what would historically be to old people like me, comic book distributing companies, companies that got their head
Hmm.
start distributing comics are ones that are distributing RPGs.
Right.
But the thing is, um, WotC is no longer participating in the program where they were training judges for all these official tournaments, right?
Yeah, they killed that, didn't they?
They've killed that. Okay. Um, WotC is doing a lot of stuff antithetical to empowering your local game store to want to have their products. Okay. When I worked retail, when I was in the electronics department, um, Mitsubishi was shit. All right. Mitsubishi TVs were shit. However, the Mitsubishi rep would be in at least once every 3 or 4 weeks bringing in your hey, here's your little tape measure, some pens, some tchotchkes. Take everybody out for lunch, and guess what? Well,
They
your
got sold.
Mitsubishi, which was shitty TVs, not as shitty as Magnavox, but I mean, they were shitty TVs, but they were overpriced. But the department store gave them a primary spot and advertised them on sale because they took the time to interact with
Yeah.
the retailers. Now,
Yeah.
when if
Good.
Watson starts pulling out and not giving a shit about retailers, um, remember Amazon's still going to get their discounts. So people are. My fear is when Watsy no longer thinks of game stores as important, even if they aren't important to their bottom line directly. They're
Right.
important to getting the word out. They're important to getting eyes on. They're important to get views. And
Yeah.
Watsy is so much into digital. And we say digital, people go, "Oh, you mean digital books, digital ads, digital views?" They want. They're not thinking of the meat space, right? They're not thinking of
Right.
physical spaces. They're all focused on this digital. And the reason being is because digital is cheaper and easier than going out and fucking meeting people and shaking hands and
Oh
and
yeah.
and empowering. So I believe that Diamond was getting ordering directly from what should we call it? Ordering directly from Watsy. And if they weren't, they are now. And Watsy is going to make more of a profit.
Hmm.
This is all about WotC's bottom line, and it's about profit margins. It's not about gross income. People have to stop saying like, "Oh, well, they're going to lose market share." Listen, if the market shrinks, they're still going to be the number one. They don't care because as far as they're concerned, if them pulling back from physical products and stuff loses them a 25% share and loses the rest of the hobby 15%, they're ahead of the game.
Jeez.
I'm just saying, I'm throwing numbers out. I don't have. Am I a numbers guy? Yes. And if you give me numbers, I can do a lot with it. We don't have these numbers, right? We're going to have some numbers for WotC coming up in about a week when they give the third quarter report, and I will be over that, like as will every other, uh, you know, Dungeon Craft. Dan's going to be all over that. Roll for Law. We're all going to be looking at what they are saying, not just what they are saying, but what the numbers show. Now, the unspoken, because WotC won't mention this, but the reality is the in between editions, right? When you went from second to third, when you went from
Right.
third to fourth and fourth to fifth, what happens to sales? They all do a fucking nosedive, right? We know that because people are like, why am I buying for what's going to be a dead system? That's part of the reason why they insist 5E's not going anywhere. The one D&D or D&D Forever is really 5E because they don't want that dip. But we're going to see that dip. And unlike last time, what did they do last time between 4E and 5E? They gave us all the old school reprints, right? They went out of
Right.
their way to tap into the pockets of old school gamers, the grognards. They don't really care about doing that right now. They're more about signing people up for D&D Beyond to get them ready to be part of this renewable cycle of subscriptions, which is what they're planning their business on. So,
Right.
and I don't think any
Bu-
of these game stores are going to survive on OSR games. I wish they
By
could.
the by, just I was curious. I went to Walmart.com and typed in Advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
And among all the 5e stuff, I actually found pre-owned 1E DMG, a second edition player's handbook,
Oh,
a Fiend folio. It's all pre-owned stuff, a few 2E splat books, and you would not believe the
the markup is
well, also see
pre-owned.
they did well they deal like with Amazon and stuff. They deal with other sellers too besides
Right.
themselves. So we're looking at a 1E Dungeon Master's Guide for $130, a 2E Player's Handbook for $45, $49 for the Fiend Folio, a pre-owned second edition DMG, which was the reprint, when they did the such and such anniversary stuff, $161. Complete Book of Humanoids, $61. Pre-owned
Right.
Monstrous Manual, $43. It's just we're
It's
there, but it's still, outrageous.
Phantom. Will it affect Walmart? Doesn't Hasbro distribute to them D&D products in the toy section, mostly just beginner boxes and dice? You
It
know,
might.
it might.
It
At
might.
Walmart, Target. Here's the thing. The question is going to become: will WotC still care about physical sales in these locations? I think
Mhm.
Walmart and Target are going to be places they might hope to get people initially hooked. And your beginner box is going to be uh, 2 free months of D&D Beyond and our new VTT. And I can guarantee you those new books, the new Player's Handbook, the new DMG, are going to include some kind of of code to allow you to get some free time in their
Oh
VTT.
yeah.
The first
But
the first hits for free, kids.
mhm. By the way, the all you OSR guys, Walmart has a pre-owned copy of Volo's Guide to the Sword Coast, 3847. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
Yep.
Yeah, but I've got that stuff. So,
Yep.
yeah, I don't think Walmart's going to be affected because they don't. I don't do that. I don't think they deal with them, Random House or whatever, because Walmart's always got their own thing going. They always want the deals.
Well, Walmart, just like Target, has their own book section, so I don't know.
Right, but what I'm saying is they want to deal with the suppliers directly rather through something like Random House.
Yeah,
because they want a better deal out of the company.
True, and listen, getting your product on these shelves is going to be important to get eyes on as they're looking to grow.
That's right.
Watch expects the VTT to triple income for D&D. It's going to be $1 billion property, remember? Except for the fact that the movie, which, mind you, I enjoyed.
Everybody loves. The majority of them loves.
Right. The movie was fun.
Tanked.
And now why it appealed to gamers, and we're not a huge market when it comes to.
Well, it killed in streaming, so I'm calling it a win.
Okay, maybe we'll get a second movie. I don't know if we'll get if we'll get the big names back again. Oh, good. I did that. And it didn't do anything special. Thank God. But yeah, it's supposed to be $1 billion property by what, 2026?
You know how a series would work with this? Think of it as an anthology movie series. Like instead of D&D, D&D Tales from the Realms or something like that, where they can follow a different group every time for a different story and get different actors in there. I think that would work that way.
It could.
If you wanted a series like that.
Keep it in the same world. The world. Also, what is it? A streaming series that's being in the works. So we'll see how this all plays out. The reality is, everybody wants to get another Game of Thrones, and even Game of Thrones, HBO
wants another Game of Thrones.
Can't find another Game of Thrones. All right, and as much as I enjoyed the first seasons of The Witcher, it's now starting to drag. It's going to be a different actor next season. I don't know. Carvel, it really enjoyed the character, wanted that part. That part was important to him, and I think he gave it a little bit extra in his portrayal. I don't know what's going to carry on, but everybody wants that big series that's going to hit, and D&D is not going to be it. It's a good brand. D&D has a limit, and we're going to find out what that limit is. I think when it gets rebooted at 5.5, 6, D&D Next, D&D Forever.
Onward, yeah.
Whatever they're calling it. Tom, I was told by an employee at the Hobby Bunker when I was in Malden, Massachusetts, that 90% of its business was in mail order collectible high-end figures. Display minis in the 100 millimeter to 170 millimeter. I can see that, and here's the thing though, right? Like, even though it's mail order, it could be that somebody walked through the store a year ago and saw the amazing display they had, and was like, "Oh, you know what? I really should check this. Oh, they do have it. Yeah, send it to me, damn it." So, oh God, that store merely has RPGs as a service to the community. If we get a straight to streaming sequel,
I'll bet they do.
No more no more Captain Kirk, no more Ms. Rodriguez. I don't know which characters they would keep.
Bloodworth saying Chris Pine said something before the movie came out that they didn't like. So that may kill him for the sequel. I don't know.
That's a possibility. Paramount lost 150 million
I thought it was,
on the movie. Yeah, and Hasbro lost 120 last quarter. The
yeah, they, like I
D&D
said,
cinematic universe.
I mean, it could be saved by streaming. It could be saved by a small series. I don't know. What did he say? I mean, I thought it was the directors who were mouthing off.
I don't know. Maybe he didn't take. Maybe he didn't take it seriously enough.
Paramount is allowing the TNT RPG because both lost money. That's funny. I don't. I'm not. So I'm not doing that Kickstarter because I've still got my original copy.
If someone did Dragonlance Chronicles correctly as a series, it could be massive, but it would have to be a perfect adaptation. And you can't do that one perfectly because it is
Yeah.
no longer going to be considered politically correct. There are too many issues with Dragonlance. Remember the WotC disclaimer, and that falls on top of Dragonlance. You can't have gully dwarves, right? Trust me, you can't have them. You can't have Kenders. Why? Because they're kleptomaniacs, right? That are stealing everything. Somebody's gonna say they're a cognate of some other racial, ethnic, real world, right? You won't be able to Moonwind, right? Taken right from Native American. No, can't. So you're gonna have to scratch way too much off to do it correctly. And if you don't do it correctly, you're not going to bring along the fans with the money who are larger than the people that are playing. There are a lot of people I know, or especially knew when I was younger, that read those books and didn't play D&D, had no intention of playing D&D, didn't give a flying fuck about D&D, but they love those books. So Dragonlance would sell, done correctly, but they can't do it correctly.
True.
And after the lawsuit, yeah, it's probably done. Oh, so the joke that Pine said was he used D&D as a joke to kill his superhero image.
He had a superhero image. I mean Captain Kirk, but
Yeah,
um, I'm not going to hold that against him, but they will.
yeah.
The studio will.
Today Tannis would be a half woman of color. Yeah, and Rasslin would be proudly queer, guaranteed. And that's I'm not even saying that because I actually thought he probably was back when the books were written.
What they
So
pull a Dumbledore on
I
us?
guess, but I know. So
Yeah.
I would I be upset by those changes? No. I mean, Tannis, eh, and Rasslin would probably fit the character. Um, but then the issue becomes how many other changes are they going to have? Again, there are certain things that just can't be like you could do, all right, with the right director, an amazing Ravenloft movie. It could be very right, but you can't do it. You can't do it because Ravenloft has been neutered, and it's never going to be what it was. Joe Manganiello still attached to the Dragonlance product.
Hmm.
We'll see what happens. Uh, again with Joe and Sophia. Joe wanted kids. Sophia said, "I want kids," and then didn't want kids. So I don't know. That's a rough one. You want to have
Oh,
kids
okay.
so
I forgot
popular.
he was in Wonder. I forgot he was in Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah. See, like the first one, he was okay in the first Wonder Woman. The second Wonder Woman, I didn't understand what the. Well, I never finished watching the second movie. The first one was good. The second one was I couldn't figure out what was going on, and I didn't care. So I'm sorry. I grew up on DC Comics, but there isn't that much that makes me want to care.
Superhero movies these days if you pick and choose which ones
Yeah.
you want and want to watch, then you're all right. If you're doing the lockstep thing like Marvel, watching every single thing that Marvel puts out, it ain't gonna fly for me.
No.
I've got my favorites in Marvel, like the first Doctor Strange movie, the first three movies of the first wave, the Avengers, the first Avengers movie, all three of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and the Ant-Man stuff is all fun. And I like those. But, the sequels are like, we'll take it one at a time. I thought Thor Ragnarok was excellent. Dark World was okay. I've seen Iron Man, Iron Man 2, haven't seen 3. The Captain America stuff was, it started out good. The second one was not bad. The third one, I don't like Civil War in the first place. I never liked that
Storyline.
that storyline. Although I did see it, and I got to say they did do a good job. It's just I don't like that storyline. I never liked it when it was in the comics. I thought that was where I was going to stop watching the Marvel stuff for that. Was that. But anyway, that's my opinion. So anyway, so he keeps all his games. The death saves. Oh boy.
I think they're having a relatively amicable divorce, but then again, what divorce is really amicable?
True.
Very, very, very few. So, and hey, next time we're on, we can talk about the South Park special, Pandaverse.
Heard they got some flack.
I got a lot of flack. Hey, it's not even out yet. So you're doing well if you're getting flack before it even comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, what after Avengers wrapped up, I was less
Yeah, I watched
into
the rest of it too. The
yeah,
the
I was like,
the the Infinity stuff wasn't bad.
no.
Um,
After that, I was kind of like,
but the way they changed the universe, it's like, where are you going to go from here, guys?
yeah. Oh, that reminds me, I gotta watch Loki tonight. I didn't watch it last night.
I hear that's pretty good.
But listen, I like the character. I like the actor. It's got good chemistry in it. I think Kyle is the only
And
one
it's got Owen Wilson in it.
Oh, and Owen Wilson is great in it. So I'm enjoying that. So I'll have to watch that tonight. I still haven't.
Some actors cannot hit a bad.
Yeah.
Some actors always hit it out of the park.
And I gotta start watching season 2 of Good Omens. It's got to be a totally new plot because I love the book, and the first season on Amazon Prime followed it very closely, and it was really well done. And I enjoyed the Sandman series; that was very well done. Did they
Oh
do?
yeah. Oh, Good Omens. Good Omens. Another David Tennant film or series.
Yes.
I mean that guy is like, he's everywhere. From Doctor Who to DuckTales to Good Omens to what was that other show he did? What's her name? I can't remember. It was a Marvel show. Oh, Jones, Jessica
Oh
Jones.
yeah,
He was
Jessica
in that.
Jones. The first.
He was in. He's everywhere. Now the other guy who plays the Angel, I like him.
Yes.
I like him as an actor. First time I saw him was in the Frost Nixon movie, playing David Frost. He was really good in that.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Very cool, Glenn. Very, very cool.
Yeah, very, very cool. Now we're getting into movies. Let's go back to role playing.
Well, movies and role playing, right? This is when you were gaming.
They're attached at the hip.
Yeah, they are. I mean,
look back there. They're attached at the hip.
Did everybody see Hawk the Slayer is going to be on tonight at like 2 a.m.? We're going to watch it, right?
Oh boy.
Hey man, Kroll is going to be on this on the afternoon as the Sunday
You
matinee.
know you know what my favorite Kroll was? I've got Kroll with the riff tracks. With
Oh,
riff tracks. That was good.
see,
Oh, he's the voice of Young.
I haven't watched the
Okay.
soap yet. I got to tell you the truth when it comes to a lot of the stuff for the Star Wars universe. There's very little recently that kind of got me going. Oh, I got to see that. It's like,
Well, as far as the character, I've sort of modified my feeling. First off, I hated her, absolutely hated her, but now I'm indifferent. It's like, it's Star Wars.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think
you're about right, Tabram.
yeah, yeah. I think for many of us, Iron Man was it was a great movie and introducing the Shield found. It was like, oh, they're putting Easter eggs at the end of these damn movies after the credits. What the hell is that? Those bastards.
Well, I still think that. Well, I mean, yeah, Endgame I was kind of done, except for I had to watch Volume 3 of Guardians of the
Oh,
Galaxy because
Guardians of
I like those guys. They're great. It's like that. Marvel does. That's the way Marvel does Star Wars, right there.
yeah. And that was really that was a lot of fun. All right, so Glenn, what is on your RPG plate coming up? Anything in particular?
Monday game, Thursday game.
Okay.
No other games. Radio Grognard goes on, even if I have nothing to say. It goes on.
The heat goes on.
But I don't know. I don't think people now. Like I said, I could use a game or two to GM. I don't really think people can appreciate my style of GMing unless they come and experience it themselves, or I get my butt online. Who knows?
There you go. You
Yeah,
know, I'm going to next North Texas. I've agreed to run the fantasy trip, which means I have to
Ooh.
learn the fantasy
Oh,
trip.
by the way, DM Dave
Uh-huh.
in his store, he has copies of the complete sets.
Nice.
He's got that and the Kickstarter. He's got one of the Kickstarter ones too.
Right.
And
I
it's
actually had two.
I want.
I had two of the Kickstarter boxes because oh god, when Phil Reed was in Manhattan before there was the COVID, back in the way back, Phil was at the Javits convention for a game expo, and we met in Manhattan, and we had lunch, and I left with I should have brought a bag with me, this huge box of the fantasy trip before it even shipped from the Kickstarter. And then I got my Kickstarter box. So I was like, I've got two of these. So I was like,
ho ho ho!
I gave my extra box to Zach later at TotalCon. That way I didn't have to ship it. I was like, here, it's yours. I drove. You figure out how to get it home. I don't need
you go.
Nothing.
There you go. Let's see. I've consented to run another Gangbusters game. I just got to submit it. I think games are. I think you can submit games now, can't you?
Not sure. I got to talk to Mike.
I'm just going to be. Mike was right. I'm just going to run something I have run before, although not at the con.
Oh, good. That works.
But there, he says, just recycle your stuff. I said, okay. I'm always worried because there's always at least one or two people who have played what I've ran before. And now, it's to the point where I'm running out of stuff to do. So I'm going to start, being a good person and recycling. I'm
there
green.
You go.
See? I'm green.
Don't forget recycle it. There you go.
But I'm going to be running Shine on Harvest Moon. So
I believe Wild. I'm not sure if Wild. I believe Wild.
Going to get your game at North Texas. Well, if you ever come, dig.
Oh.
Oh, come
Wild
on.
Guy,
Come
that's a
on.
big.
Come on. He's in LA. And if he shows up, I'm going to be so homesick. Not really. But
Have you ever
the,
run anything new at a con and it all went wrong?
no.
No.
Well, maybe.
I mean, I've run stuff that I didn't play test, aside from running it all in my head. Um, and I will say, one session ran. The party went through it way quicker than I thought they were going to. But I had wisely left an area that was easy to expand, so I just expanded it on the fly. And they didn't need to know, and I just kept it going until I moved the big bad evil guy away from where he initially was to another place so they'd have more time
I've
to.
I've done that before. It's like they're coming up to the big bad, and we've got 2 hours yet.
Yeah.
Oh, tune game and a podcast. All right. Sit in the lobby, a couple old farts. Ask the GMs anything. Okay, dude, I am ready and waiting to meet you.
All right, run
B1.
B1 gangbuster style. Gangbang style. No, maybe.
No, gangbuster style. Yeah, I could see it. I could see it now. The Corleone campus on the borderland.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but interesting thought though.
Yeah,
Very interesting.
You got Glenn's mind going, folks. You got Glenn's mind going. Well, Glenn, I think that we're hitting the
Talk,
90-minute mark.
talked out. Talked out.
I might be talked out. I
Okay,
you
me
know
too.
I've been it's been we are a week and a half after Rachel's surgery and it's still busy. Everything went well, folks.
Mhm.
Just what
Oh
yeah,
yeah, how she's doing? All right. She's
she's doing great. We got the results back from the there's three biopsies. One of the tumor itself, which was
mhm,
cancerous. You expected that. You had the tumor of, sorry, you had the removal of the surrounding tissue around the
mhm.
tumor. That was negative, and the lymph node removed was also negative. So it means it didn't
Good.
spread. So,
Good.
yay. So,
See you, Woodard, at the con. Petey Penguin and the fruit. What? The Fruit Bears Arena of Doom. Oh, I'd play in that if I was there. I'd play my elephant martial artist.
oh,
Um,
geez.
yeah, I call him Hoodoo Dat. His specialty move is the Flying Trunk of Doom.
Oh, no. Dangerous. All right, Wild Die. Be good.
Yeah, take care, Woodard, and we will see you again.
Indeed.
I hope. I hope.
I hope. I actually know what I gotta check the schedule and make sure there's nothing weird coming up for us. Um,
Weird for us or you?
Schedule wise, nothing. Yeah, no. Christmas is on a Monday.
Oh
Okay,
boy.
yeah, no, that's good. And we
By the
know,
way, are we gonna?
yes.
I know this is a little early to tell, but are we going to be able to do a triple D at the con this next year?
I don't see why not.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if it actually fell on the day or.
Oh, actually, let me check. Let me check.
Well, yeah, there's Thursday through Sunday. Yes, but I'm
Yeah. So
okay.
this
Oh,
so
I
the
see what you're saying. I see
the
what you're saying.
seventh is the first Friday of the month. It
Mhm.
is our day, but even if it wasn't our day, guess what?
I know we do it.
We do it because if I'm doing a live
I
stream from the
mean, I
con,
mean, you're probably going to be doing like, you and Mike's
with
and
me and Mike
talking crit and game
on
and probably do
and you
gamers
don't
health and
right, and you don't get there until Thursday usually. If you get there Wednesday, you can join us.
yeah,
For,
I will
oh,
try. I've done that once since I went to the con. I was only able to do it once.
oh.
But to me, it's always involves another day, and I don't want to pay for it, and
Oh, I got
that kind of thing.
But
You
if
know,
you are there, def, that would actually be pretty cool if you were, because it means that we could keep that live stream going for as long as we want. And somebody needs to take care of business. All right, you and Mike
and
got it. I'm
and
going to the bathroom.
yeah, and also, I don't know if Gage, he's not working, but I know what he's going to be doing by that time. He wouldn't mind coming a day early, I'm sure. Yeah, I liked our last one where we had like everybody and their brother showed up to
Yes,
talk to us. It was great.
it's awesome. So no,
Uh,
we will do the same, Glenn. We will do
yes,
the
that's the
same.
only time our show is really lively.
Yeah, actually, you know
Anyway,
what? I'll talk. What I will do is I will talk to Mike and Gary about having a table in the main room reserved for seven
mhm.
o'clock Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights for live streams. So we don't have to hope that nobody's gaming.
The
And
old farts of the OSR.
there we go.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to be. Somebody's got to be.
Good night, Tampron.
All right, folks. On that note, Glenn, what do you got going on? What do you got with your channel? Tell me.
We got Thickle's Hammer is someday we'll do another episode.
Someday, maybe
But
next
until that,
week.
Radio Grognard's a constant. I'm trying to get my butt back on here to YouTube
You
with
should.
a few more. I'm just tweaking equipment and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I don't have any folks. I don't have any fancy equipment, so I use what I use. I've had people say, "Well, you gotta look, your stuff should look better. You do good stuff." I said, "Well, I do what I can afford." I see these guys out there with like big old Nikon cameras and stuff that record and hundreds and hundreds of bucks, and I just do what I do. I mean, hell, look, I've got one of these now. Hey, I've got a stand.
Ooh.
And this will hold my phone. I could put a regular camera on here, and believe it or not, this is sold on Amazon as a selfie stick. This is not a I mean, it can be, but this is not a selfie stick.
That's a bit. Yeah. No. That's.
And this is. I think this is. I think it. Look at that. This is almost as tall as me. And they said this is a selfie stick that doubles as a stand. I think it's the other way around, actually.
I think it's the other way around. Is right.
Yeah, but it's a really nice one. I didn't pay too much for it either. I think I paid like $18 for it on
Okay.
Amazon. Yeah, it's a good deal. Amazon, I'm constantly surprised going on Amazon, finding these off-brand, off-company. It's like going to Aldi instead of like a regular supermarket. You find all these off-brands from companies you never heard before, but they're just as good.
Right.
I have yet to be burned. I mean,
Okay.
I know, odds are,
At
playing
some
the odds,
point.
I might, but I don't mind and they're cheaper. I don't mind because Amazon's just got such a great return policy.
Well, there you go.
And, you do it within 30 days, you're golden. So yeah, that was, check those out. I'd give you a link if I knew what I ordered. It was a while ago. If you want to wait a minute, I can get a link for you. Send you a link. You know how it works.
You know what you do? You give me a link for the next show, and then we can give an affiliate link for you.
Really?
Yes.
I have affiliates? Wow.
Well, you could have an affiliate link at Amazon, and you should be able to do it before Christmas. Maybe you get a.
Oh, there it is. 62-inch Senstein 62-inch phone tripod and selfie stick. And it's just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And it's even got a little remote with it. How cute.
Nice.
For your phone. But anyway, I just thought, I'd bring that up at the end there. Here you go. You can save this for next time.
Okay.
There you go.
Got it for next time.
Anyway, yeah, Radio Grognard, There goes Hammer. This.
This very
This.
true.
This.
Folks, tomorrow night, Gamers Health. We'll give you an update on Rage, me, whatever else is going on. We'll get your feedback. We've got a topic. We do have a topic, and it's dealing with loss, but not the loss that most of us consciously think about. This is one that's a little bit often ignored or under the table. But
yeah, and I'm going to the hospital pretty soon.
Oh, and then we'll have Glenn as a guest when he comes out. How about that?
Okay. Now somebody's asking for my channel. Great. Now I got to go look it up. Well, actually, it's right here. It's on a lot of services, but I'll give you the Spotify for podcasters link, and you can find it from
Put
there.
it in a private chat because you won't be able to link it.
I know how it works.
Okay.
I think this place is weird that way, but what are you going to do?
Well, the reason is because it won't allow third parties to put up
there you go
in the chat because the porn bots were trying to link everything.
There, I put it up. You put that up for them.
There you go.
There we go. Yeah, that should get you there. That's Radio Grognard. Anyway, time to sign off.
Be safe, be well. God bless. Roll the dice, roll them well. Can I get another special effect going on here? Apparently, no. Holy shit!
I'm helping. I'm trying to help.
I know.
Oh well.
Effects. Oh well. All right, folks. Good night.
Good night, folks.